see. How you guys been doing? Well, if you're new, I haven't made a video in like 6-7 months. Last time I uploaded a music video based off the infamous Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey. But yeah, I wanted to come out and chat about the subject matter that I've been thinking about, how I want to constructively illustrate to everyone today. And this has been, a pretty big conversation, and not just the entertainment industry, but just globally, worldwide. This is one of the biggest acquisitions of all time, pretty much. Bigger than the 20th century and the Walt Disney acquisition that happened. I no one saw this company out of all the companies that was in the bidding war between NBC Universal, Paramount Corporation, and then Netflix. No one expected Netflix just to come a 180. You're like, yeah, here's almost $90 billion. Now, the exact amount to what I was recalling was 82 billion and some change on there. But anyway, an obscene amount of money, right? Well, how is this going to affect not just the entertainment industry, but physical media, theatrical releases? There's so many implications if this acquisition gets approved, which with our current administration that's currently happening, there is a couple comments from them already about the matter, but ultimately, I don't believe they're going to honor what they have said currently about this matter. I think they're going to process the accusation and it will go through. So what is the hypotheticals of Netflix owning Warner Brothers? Because no matter what, this is going to be a 2-year process if this goes through at all. Because Warner Brothers has to split their company into two, and the second company has to reorganize themselves as Discovery, because the Discovery aspect, the Discovery properties, and all the television programming, because television is still a thing, and it probably will still be a thing for a very long time, and you never know with this world, television can boom with cable, and streaming services can die. We just don't know what the future will hold. The market is always changing. I mean, look at vinyl. Vinyl, infamously, low in sales. Till the last couple of years, vinyl boom. Now you find vinyls in your local Target and Walmart everywhere. So the market is constantly fluctuating, and we just don't know about the future. But the hypotheticals and the implications of Netflix owning Warner Brothers. They're making all these statements of like, oh yeah, we're going to keep all these movies into theaters, and we're going to make sure this and this and this. Don't believe any of that shit they're saying. Netflix is not your friend. They may act like your friend, but they do not care about quality over quantity. They care about manufacturing films, manufacturing television. They do not care about quality. They just want to produce and feed algorithms in their streaming services. This is just another pawn in their plan to have the most monopolist of the streaming market. Ultimately, at the end of the day, what I believe is going to happen is initially they're going to let the company operate like they were typically operating, but slowly after they do this acquisition, they're going to phase out releases from the supposed 2 weeks, the actual release, which is already ludicrous and ridiculous. Theaters experience should at least be minimally 45 days. I do not agree that it's harming consumers. You need your consumers to have a legitimate, valid reason to go to the cinema, because they have to pack up, they have to get ready, they have to head down to the cinema. So you have to make it an event at this point. Movies cannot just be movies anymore. If you want people to come out to the cinema, the movie itself has to be at least minimally 45 days to have any constructive impact, to have a incentive for people to come out. If people have the mindset knowing, oh, it's going to be in theaters for 1 week and then it's going to go to Netflix the next week, I don't have to go to the theater even if I want to see the movie. And then when we have movie theaters that refuse to support independent films over and over and over again, and then people resulting like me have to wait for the physical copy. Netflix
does not care about physical media. It has made it abundantly clear multiple times that directors have had to go out of their way to get the physical media outsourced to someone like Shout Factory. Time and time again, Netflix will only do physical media if it's written into their legal binding contract. Like Arcane would have not gotten physical media if the production company behind that show didn't have that in their contract. Netflix does not want to support physical media, and Netflix absolutely does not want to support theaters. They will only support theaters for the limited contracts that Warner Brothers already has code signed till 2029. So theaters, this is the biggest concern I have. Physical media, look, if prices keep going, $90 for the Deadpool and Wolverine UHD Steelbook, physical media is already out the door. Like, physical media, if the prices keep going up and up and up, and people have to get shit imported from across the whole world just to have that UHD copy of the film, we're hooked with physical media already. There may be collectors that still be collecting physical media, and manufacturing will continue at least for a couple more years, but if we keep on advocating on giving all our rights away to streaming services, VOD, or let's talk about video game consoles for a second here. You buy everything on your PlayStation library, guess what? What happens if Sony servers are offline and you don't have your console activated? You have no access to that $75 video game anymore. Oh no, it's happened to me before. It's happened to me multiple times before because no internet connection. So, why? You as a consumer want to spend $75 as a game, as an example, and not physically own it. Doesn't make sense in my head, but everyone has their own cup of tea, because there's different contexts with different situations. Let's say there's a movie that you're kinda interested in. Let's say Shelly Oaks, eventually on VOD, it gets to $5 to rent, and you're like, you know what, I'll gamble for $5. And you know what, that's more than okay, because if you end up liking Shelly Oaks, then you can pick up a physical later, which I've done that for a couple of films. A personal film that I ended up loving is a Sony animated film called Paprika. Paprika, I had no interest in. I've seen a couple clips of it, but once I saw it on VOD for $2 to rent on UHD, I'm like, you know what, I'll give this a chance. Ended up loving the film, and I picked up a physical after. So there is legitimate advantages to VOD, but each format has cons and pros, because eventually this copy of Deadpool and Wolverine, it will have disc rot. To what I'm trying to get at the end of all this conversation we're having here today, Netflix owning Warner Brothers is not a good thing. Do not let anyone convince you this is a very bad thing for physical media in theaters. Now, we can be all sunshine and rainbows about this, and hypothetically, Netflix can entirely keep Warner Brothers intact, and they actually advocate for physical media and theater releases, and they start exploring Netflix projects within the divisions that now they own for physical media and releasing films into theaters with Warner Brothers Distribution Company. Guess what? We could get Netflix movies worldwide in theaters. So if they went into that with that kind of mindset, this would not be a problem for me. Even though they are killing inherently the third most popular streaming service. So inherently, the FTC, by the hypothetical, should just outright block this, because you are killing the third highest streaming service with HBO Max. So FTC, are they going to do anything? I don't fucking believe so. But yeah, that's my somewhat constructive thoughts on this matter. I'm curious how you guys feel about the matter. I hope you guys have a great weekend. If you're interested in leaving a comment, liking, possibly subscribing, that would be extremely appreciated. I might continue to style if I see any form of support. Anyway, thank you for watching.